You know, sometimes I really do love using Twitter, and sometimes I really don't. And this is one of the best examples of why sometimes I just want to disable my account on Twitter, of the ungodly and just disturbing amount of harassment you would get on there just for your beliefs. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about or haven't seen any stories on this yet, if you guys know a name by a guy named Scott Cawthon, I can't say his name right for some odd reason. He was somebody dug up through his history of his donations, where you donate to political figures and all that kind of stuff. Well, Twitter got a hair up its ass, and anything that's Republican or Donald Trump related, they're gonna lose it. They're gonna go off the rails, just bonkers of just foaming at the mouth, like just it's it's those type of things that I hate about Twitter. They you can't even express how you feel without like as long as it's not like you're hurting people or animals or anything like that, it's perfectly fine. But you know what? Scott wanted to donate his money, his hard-earned money, to candidates that he believed in. Now, I do have his Reddit post pulled up here, so I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys real quickly. So, Scott Cawthon, I finally said it right. Like, jeez, I'm so slow on it, I swear to God. My response, and maybe the last post. My message isn't specifically directly at the Five Nights at Freddy's community, Reddit community, I think that's what he calls it. This is just the community that I care about the most and where I choose to post things. I never cared much for Twitter anyway, thank you. To say that the last few days have been surreal would be an understatement. I've debated greatly how best to address this, including not addressing it at all, but with so many people from the LGBT community in the fan base that I love, that's not an option. I like to think the last 7 years would have been given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I tried to treat people, but there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed with people threatening to come to my house. My wife is 6 weeks pregnant, and she spent the last night in fear because of what was being said online. She has already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her so afraid and really scared me. All this because I exercised my right, my duty as an American citizen to vote to vote for and support the candidates who I felt I could best run the country for everyone, and that's something I won't apologize for. Which he really shouldn't, to be honest, because you know what? It's his belief, his money, and if he wants to donate to these candidates and stuff, yeah, sure, go ahead, do it. I'm not gonna knock a person for doing it, as long as they know what they're getting involved in. And these fuckers on Twitter that dox this man and have been sending death threats to them, boy, I hope Twitter's gonna fucking do something about that, because they sure did something to fucking Donald Trump when he was doing freaking death threats and all that supposed thing. God, I fucking hate Twitter sometimes. I really do. And Scott, if you're watching this, my condolences to your family, man. And I feel bad for your wife. And please, I hope to God that child comes out okay. Because God, I know if your wife is pregnant and she's getting really stressed, and there could be complications with the child. So yeah, that one would be nice on Twitter's little conscience, huh? Anyway, continuing it. For those who took the time to look, you saw that the candidates I support included men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats. I supported Kimberly Kalik in Baltimore because I believed that she really cared for the African community there and wanted to pull them out of poverty. I believe she could have really made a difference in a time with so many black communities were struggling. She lost. Unfortunately, I supported Tulsi Gabbard. That's a weird name. A Democrat, even though I disagree with her on several issues, because I felt she would have been a good and fair president. And yes, I supported President Trump because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to Americans and enemies abroad, of which there are many. Even if there were candidates who were better things to say to the LGBT community directly and bigger promises to make, I believed that their stances on other issues would have been ended up doing much greater harm to these communities than good. All this explanation, I fear, is wasted, and as people don't want to discuss with one another anymore, they want endless apologies, submissions, and people who are expecting these from me will get neither. Oh, he is so fucking telling the truth on this one. Someone could make a mistake on Twitter. I mean, an honest to God mistake. And move on as a person, try to become a better person, and Twitter will just drag you through the mud, and they will hold it against you permanently. But let's say this real quickly. If one of their candidates did the same thing that was harming their communities too, they would say nothing at all. It is a double standard that these twittards have, and it's absolutely disgusting. So I'm going to continue on with the post. I'm sorry, guys. I have to say something between these because it's what I'm saying is true. It's disgusting. I'm a Republican. Oh, wait, I take that back. I've got to back that up. I've always supportive of creators and have tried to treat everyone fairly and treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender, or orientation. I just treat people as people. Everyone the same because of that. I've ended up with a very diverse group of people that I've worked with over the years. It wasn't intentional. It just happened that way. I chose people who are best for the job. I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of my life and the professional life and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way I will continue to be. I am a Republican. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe in God. I also believe in equality and in science and in common sense. Despite what some may say, all those things can go together. That's not an apology or promise to change. It's the way it's always been. If I get canceled, then I get canceled. I don't do this for money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get canceled and retire. I would accept that. I've had a fulfilling career. Besides, most things that people can take from you are things that never had much value to begin with. I have always loved and will continue to love this community and his fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore. Like I fucking said, I fucking hate Twitter, guys. It is a disgusting platform that fests these brainless, idiotic twittards that don't care what you try to do as a person, try to better yourself, or any of that. They want you dead in the ground, not breathing. Because it proves they DOS this guy, and they want some crazy motherfucker to go out there and go after Scott and his wife. And a lot of people say, well, that's never really happened before. Go do some research. There's been people that will leak your freaking your address out there, and trust me, it gets really bad. I think if I remember correctly, some people have died because of this. And truly, honestly, this is bad. And I think freaking Scott may have an open cut case of harassment because Twitter refuses to do anything to quell that rage. I don't know. To be honest, this is all disgusting. And honestly, Twitter's going to get what is coming to them. And along with those twittards too.